Hello everyone, welcome back to IP360. This is me Venkatesh Kaliselvam. In this episode, we are going to see what are the different parts of the Python program. In other words, what is the structure of typical Python program in detail. So before we actually jump into the coding structure of the Python program, I would like to take you to your primary school days, where you would have studied the parts of a body, parts of a car, or parts of a tree. And let's take an example, parts of our body. We will have our own eyes, ears, nose, brain, head, hands, legs, and so on, right? So each and every part are part of our body, and each part will do certain operation to make our body work completely. And for example, let's take a car. It will have wheels to run from one place to another place, and if it will have the engine to operate the car. And example for the tree, it will have roots and trunk, right? What is the function of the root? The root will help the tree to stand still on a given place, and then it will brings the nutrition from the earth. So likewise, you can consider the Python programming language as a real world entity. So you can create different parts inside the Python code. Let's say the structure of the code, and then each and every element in your code can do certain operation to make that program to give particular solution for your problem. For the purpose of explaining the structure of a Python program, I have written a small program in which a user can go and register himself in a particular portal, let's say an YouTube, right? So if you want to create a channel for your name, or if you want to create a YouTube account, you should have you should be greater than 18 years. I mean, you should be elder enough to handle all the internet things. So for that, there may be a condition. It will check your age, whether you are older than 18, or your age is greater than or equal to 18. So that's a small program I wrote to explain the structure, as well as will also go and see how it will work in functional way. Any problem or any Python code will have these basic structure. One, it will have a comment, or it will have a bunch of comments, and it will have some expressions, and it also have statements, and the last one is block and indentation. So these are the basic categories of the of a program. Like these are the parts of a program. We'll go and see one by one in upcoming slides. The first and foremost element in your code would be proper comments about your code. The comments are the additional readable information which is read by the programmers but ignored by the Python interpreter. This is a real-time situation where one or two people working together to build a module, and there is a chance the same file or same function can be touched by both the developers. So in this case, the each and every developer should give a proper comment about the program's functionality. That's the way they can eliminate going through each line and line by line and understand the program. They can quickly see the comments about that program, and then they can start understanding and building the new features in that program. So that's necessary for giving the comments. And when you give the comment, in Python we use hash symbol or a pound symbol to differentiate a comment from the statement. When the Python interpreter sees the line starting with hash, then this Python interpreter will ignore that line. It won't be executed. It's just for the readability purpose of the developer to understand the program better. There are two ways to do it. One, you can create inline comments where you will start the comments with the slash, and then you can also create a multi-line comment where you will have three double quotes started and then ended. In between you can give multi-line comments, like let's say you have a bunch of information about the comment. You can create give in between that three double quotes symbol. So this is how you can create comments in Python. Okay, next to the comments, we will have expressions and statements. Uh, Expressions and statements both are almost same. There is a small difference in them between them. So let's go and read the definition of the expression. An expression is any legal combination of symbols and values that represent a value. To explain clearly, we have an example, full name equal to first name plus last name. So in this case, I have a value inside first name as a variable and last name variable, and then I wanted to concatenate both the values and put it in the variable called full name so that I can use it in my program. So here you'll have values, and then in between them you'll have the symbols. So it's a combination of values and symbols that creates a expression. So that's the reason we call them as an expression, but expression is also called a statement. Okay, so let's read the definition of the statement. A statement is a programming instruction that does some action, meaning it's a set of instruction in any given program. If you see, all lines in your program except a command are the statements or instruction to the interpreter or the compiler. So in this case, for Python we have interpreter. So when Python goes through each and every line, it is an instruction to the interpreter to do some action on that line. So statements are the lines or instruction that is given to the interpreter to do some action. So expression and statement almost equal, and they can be used interchangeably. Next to the expression and statement, we have something called blocks and indentation. I'm going to read the definition of the blocks for your purpose. A group of statements which are part of another statement or a function are called block or code block or suite in Python. Again, this is part of statement. As you remember the classical example, parts of body are parts of tree, right? They are part of body. The eyes and nose are part of body. However, each and every item will do its own activity. It is created for some purpose. Similarly, blocks and indentations are part of statement. They are statements, they are part of statements, and based on some conditions. Let's say if you are trying to check the age in our program, I'm going to check the age and then allow the user to register in portal, YouTube, right? So in this case, I have a keyword called if, and I have the value variable called age. I'm going to compare that value with number 18. So if age greater than or equal to 18, then I'm going to print, hey, full name of that person, you have registered successfully to our portal. So this is how it will work. Like if the age is not greater than 18, let's say you put age equal to 16 and you are trying to check it, this line after if condition will not work, and it will go to the second line. Then it will display you are not eligible to register. Okay, so blocks are sets a set of statements. It's part of another statement, but it will do some specific action based on the condition, based on the action. Particular statement can be ignored, particular statement can be executed. So that is called if condition. For some condition where we need to iterate a list of students to identify which student is a captain or which student is a class leader. So there are various ways we can create a block. We have if block, we have for block, we have while block. We have so many block conditions in our Python programming. In any language also we have different block statement. So that is the difference between the statement and block. Block is a combination or it's a part of statement. However, based on some condition, some statements can be executed, some case statements cannot be executed. In this slide, we have a topic called Python style of rules and conventions. Let's say any language, example English or Tamil or Hindi, right? So each and every language has its own way of delivering information to another person, right? So the style and the structure or the grammatical explanation of that language or the syntax of the language can be varied. So likewise, Python also has its own set of rules and conventions to write the program. So we cannot simply go and write like English word. So there will be a syntax that we need to follow, and then based on the syntax given or written for that particular language, we have to follow the syntax and then we have to write the program. So I have this link. It's a big link. In interest of time, I'm going to skip this because it's another big topic that we need to study or we need to understand first, and then we have to go and write the code. So I recommend you guys to take the link from the Python official website, and then you can learn a lot of things. If you want, I can make another small video related to the styles, especially the Python style and rules or syntax integrated to that Python language. So for now, I'm going to skip it, but we will discuss this in detail later. This is again the official website of Python programming language. So you can see lots of style guides given in that, which is related to the previous slide. I'm going to skip this. We will discuss more on it a bit later. Another interesting topic that we have to discuss is variables and assignments. So variables are named labels whose values can be used and processed during program run. Let's take an example that I'm going to store the person's detail. For that, I should have a variable called first name. I put the value called Venkatesh, and then last name. I placed my value, the last name value, and then I have something called age as a variable. I'm going to add that data in it. So variables are nothing but they are placeholders to have your data during your program execution. So let's say example, you are going to travel in a train, and before you make a journey, you should have your seat available. Sometimes you don't need to have a seat. You can go without a reservation also. But for the safer side, or for your safety purpose, we should have your seat reserved and available before you travel. Like that, you have to create a placeholder to assign your data, so that when you execute your code, they will be placed on the right variable, and then your program execution will work without any error. So that's the reason we should have a placeholder for all the data that you are handling in your program. That's called variables. And the assignments related to this Python programming is very simple. In Java, when you create a variable, or any language, you create a variable, you need to define the data type. We already studied about data type in the Python characteristics video. Data type is nothing but what kind of data it is, whether it is a string data, whether it is a integer data, whether they are Boolean data. So but here we don't need to worry about it. Python will internally assign the data type based on the value that the program entered or used. Meaning you don't need to specifically write the data type. Let's say if you are handling string, you don't need to mention variable name is string data type. You don't need to do that. The Python will handle gracefully internally based on the value that we are giving in the program. So that is the beauty of assignments in Python language. So we have studied what are variables and how it is assigned. Here is two examples that I have. One, how to define a variable wrongly, and another one, how to define a variable correctly. The first example, what I'm doing is I am printing the first name, okay, and then I am assigning first name equal to Venkatesh. So in this case, the Python interpreter will not understand or recognize what is first name because I did not introduce that variable at all. I just created a print statement, and then inside print statement I put my first name. So that is the wrong way of representing a variable or printing a variable or using the variable. So this will throw an error called name first name not defined. So we need to define the variable well enough, well before you use that variable in your program. So the right way of defining this variable is you have to define the variable first name, and then you assign it. Then you can use that variable in your program. Like if you want to print it, you can print it, or if you want to concat that first name into last name, you can do it. So it's highly recommended to follow the series of execution and then use that variables appropriately. That's all. In that, we are done with the basic structure of the Python program, or parts of the Python program. In next session, we are going to see an interesting topic called memory management. There is something called front-loaded data space in Python programming language. So we are going to see how it differs from other languages, especially the Java and C++, etc. So how the memory management happen in Python is completely different from other language. So we are going to see that another episode shortly. Until then, bye from Venkatesh, and keep in touch. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.